time. I put the question that new clause 31F be now read a second time, division at the end.
New clause 31G.
Chairperson to move.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move that new clause 31G be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 31G be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 31G be now read a second time, division at the end.
New clause 37A.
Senator Mohammed Abbas to move.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. I propose that the bill be amended by inserting the following new sections immediately after.
No, Senator Mohammed.
Oh, okay, sorry. To be read a second time.
Yes, move that the new clause 37 be now read a second time.
That I propose that clause 37 to be read, 37 to be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 37A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 37A be now read a second time, division at the end.
New clause 42A.
Senator Mohammed Abbas to move.
Honorable Chair, I propose clause 42A to be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 42A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 42A be now read a second time, division at the end.
New clause 42B.
Senator Mohammed Abbas to
Honorable
move.
Chair, I propose new clause 42B to be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 42B be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 42B be now read a second time, division at the end.
New clause 42C.
Senator Mohammed Abbas to move. One moment, Senator Mohammed. What is your point of order?
Mr. Chair,
Kajwang.
as per the procedure in this House, even when we're in the committee of the whole, when the chair proposes a question, ideally you pause to find whether there's a member with a comment on any clause that has been proposed to be part of the bill. And Mr. Speaker, you are moving super fast, that even when we want to make any comment following your proposal, it becomes difficult to catch up. Particularly on this clause 42B, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, I wanted to make a comment following your proposal just before you put the question. So I was requesting, Mr. Speaker, that you move a little bit slowly at the proposal so that you only put the question if there is no comment from members. This is the stage of lawmaking, Mr. Speaker. Second reading, we are debating. But it is this point where we are writing the law with a fine toothpick. And so, Mr. Speaker, I just beg that if you would allow me, I would make some comments on new clause 42B, and in subsequent proposals, you can allow members to contribute.
Thank you, Senator Kajwang. Senator Kajwang, you know very well, you've been in this House for long, and you know how to catch the chair's eye. And you did it when you wanted to make a point of order. And I was able to give you an opportunity to interject. The same way, if you wanted to make a contribution to any clause that we were making, we have a screen here. You should have pressed your intervention button and we would have seen you and would have given you an opportunity.
Yes.
So I think the speed or the pace we're going, sorry, Senator Sifuna? Senator Sifuna, give him the mic.
Chair, if you can confirm from your dashboard, my button has been depressed.
It has.
And I have not been able to catch your eye. The point that Senator Kajwang is making is that if you move as fast as you're doing between the proposal of the question and the putting of the question, our fingers are not that fast, trust me, Chair. And you will not even have the opportunity to look at the screen. So kindly, let us just allow members to make any contributions they have. And you pause just to, I know it's Ramadan, you can't, I was going to say to drink a sip of water, but just catch your breath, please, Chair.
Okay, Senator, thank you very much. Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Chair, thank you. And when I raised that point, it was really just to remind us of our solemn duty as lawmakers, that legislation should never be rushed, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Chair, Clause 42B seeks to put restrictions as to ownership. And it says that a person shall not acquire more than one affordable housing unit developed under this Act. And Mr. Chair, the question is this an act that is going to serve us for 1 year or 2 years, or it's an act that will serve us for the next 100 years? What time frame are we legislating on? If you put it in law and cast it in stone, that a person cannot acquire more than one affordable housing unit, what if we get to the point where this project, assuming has become so successful that all Kenyans who wish to apply have applied and have been allocated housing units? Are you going to shut down the scheme? Are you going to then come back to Parliament to amend it so that the next round of Kenyans can benefit? Mr. Chair, we must be very careful with the manner in which we legislate. And we must also ensure that whenever we make amendments at the committee stage of the House, we ask ourselves whether those amendments have been subjected to public participation. I know that at the third reading stage, any member has a right to rise and to make amendments subject to certain consultations with the chair of the respective committee. But does it take away the right of the public to be part of the decisions that we make? Does it take away that constitutional responsibility to ensure that we inject the views and the voices of the public in whatever it is that we do? Mr. Chair, I think this is a fairly dangerous amendment, because it is an amendment that is coming from a position of want, a position that we are in, which could be resolved or which could easily be solved in 5 years or in 10 years' time. Once the situation has been solved in 10 years' time, where every Kenyan has access to affordable housing, every Kenyan, even if they have not bought from this project, there are those who come from communities like mine. Mr. Chair, still speaking to this amendment, I can tell you that there are certain cultural dimensions to home ownership that we do not take into account whenever we are legislating. We think that everyone comes from Singapore. We think that everyone comes from South Korea. We come from Kenya. Mr. Chair, in my community, when a boy gets to the age of 18 or 19, that boy is compelled to build his first house. That first house is called a Simba. Mr. Chair, in my community, 90% of men
Senator,
have access to houses.
If you could please summarize so that we can get a response to that
Mr. Chair,
argument.
As per the practice in this House, if there is limitation of debate, it is done before a member takes the floor. And in the committee of the whole, Mr. Chair, we have agreed that when you propose a question, any member has a right to comment on that proposal.
Senator,
and therefore, Mr. Chair, if you would allow me, just my normal 15 minutes, if there is need for limitation of debate, that motion can be passed or that motion can be made after I've finished my submission. Those are the rules of this House. Those are not the rules of government. Those are the rules of this House. And when we are discussing a matter so important to Kenyans, we cannot be casual about application of the law, and the chair cannot be directed to commit illegalities and unconstitutional behavior.
Senator
When I
Kajon.
took the floor, I was entitled to 15 minutes to discuss the
Senator Kajon.
proposal. If any member wants to limit debate, you can only do it after I've sat down. Those are the rules of the House, and they are in this blue
Senator
document.
Kajon.
They are not in any political party document. Mr. Chair,
Senator
if you allow
Kajon.
me, in 15 minutes, I will be done with my comments on the new clause
It's not-
42B. And I will yield the
Senator
floor
Kajwang, we're
to
in
other
the
members
committee
to make
of the
their
whole.
comments.
Senator Kajwang, we're in the committee of the whole.
Mr. Chairman,
When you're
committee
making
of the whole,
an-
when you propose the question, all of us have a right to comment on that question. And that is why we were requesting that you go a little bit slow between proposing the question and putting the question. Mr. Chair, those are the rules of this House. Those are the rules of
What is your
debate.
point of order, Senator
And if
Cheriot?
Senator Cheriot feels outwitted, then it is what it is. These are the rules of the House.
The mic. Give me the mic. Mrs. Chairperson, Mr. Chairperson, there's only one chairperson. I hope so. I hope there is only one chairperson. Protect me from hecklers in the House, Mr. Speaker. I want to address you. Mr. Speaker, I want to address you in total silence.
Let's, just one more. I should be,
Chairperson.
I will ask him. I have given him the point of order. Let him proceed. We'll listen to him in silence. I'm sure before he sits down, he will make that very clear. What is your point of order?
Thank you, Chairperson, for protecting me. Number one, Mr. Speaker, I take great exception in the conduct of Senator Kajwang. If it was another senator, I would have assumed that probably he doesn't know the traditions of this House and what we do in third reading. Senator Kajwang is not only being cheeky, because I watched him when he walked into the House, and I could hear him clearly tell his colleagues that why are you guys not filibustering? I knew. Mr. Speaker, can you protect me? Mr. Speaker, I am not in a mood to engage in a heckling debate.
We will find out.
Mr. Speaker, can you protect me?
You are protected, Senator Cheriot.
So the point is this. Senator Kajwang knows that in third reading, you try to persuade people why you are not in supportive of the proposed amendment. In a quick, witty comment, hardly beyond a minute, Mr. Speaker, and you give opportunity to the chairperson or the person that is moving that amendment to convince you why that amendment is important. This is not a debate stage, Mr. Speaker.
Senators, let us, just one moment before, can we conclude on Senator Kajwang's issue? What's your point of order, Senator Sifuna?
Chair, thank you for... Chair, I would like the attention of the Chair, please. Chair, I wanted to draw your attention to Standing Order 185. Mr. Chair, allow me to read. General application of rules in Committee of the Whole, except as otherwise provided in these standing orders. The same rules of order and of debate for the conduct of business shall be observed in the Committee of the Whole in the Senate. Mr. Speaker, therefore, nobody should rise up to tell you that there are traditions. Traditions are only applied where there is no express provision of the standing orders. So Honorable Kajwang is within his right, Mr. Speaker. Even in Committee of the House, I am surprised somebody who's told us many times that he's doing the third term in this House has no idea which standing orders he's referring to. And Mr. Speaker, when somebody stands up on a point of order, Mr. Speaker, you must insist on which standing order he is rising. I have read the law of this House. We will not be threatened by old people here that you have been here 10 times, but you can't read very simple English. Mr. Speaker, therefore, allow us to debate in the normal fashion, because that is what the law says. Mr. Chairman, do not be intimidated by anybody telling you they were elected before your grandfather was born. We are all here now. And Mr. Chairman, we are subject to the same rules. We must speak in accordance with the Constitution and in accordance with the standing orders, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, nobody should come here to tell us about traditions of which community. The traditions of the House are dictated by the standing orders. So I dare anybody else to stand up and read.
Order, senators. Order, senators. Order, senators. Order. Let us have some order. Order, senators. No, order, senators. Order, sit down. Okay, sit down, Sifuna. Sit down, Senator Abbas. No more, Senator. No more point of orders. No, senators. I cannot allow, because it is going out of hand. Not on this same matter. Is it on the same matter? Okay, Senator Mogeni, go ahead. Order, Senator, one moment. Let's hear what he has to say.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I've said on this floor that I have tremendous respect for Senator Cheruiyot, and I've said he's a young senator who has a very bright future. But when he starts shouting at us, it's not right. Because you need to allow us to hear what your point of order, and you also give us a chance. Mr. Speaker, we are in this house because we derive our powers from the Constitution. And yes, so Mr. Speaker, Senator Sifuna has made reference to Standing Order 185. But Mr. Speaker, the article I want you to bear in mind is Article 124 of the Constitution. Article 124, Mr. Speaker, states that each House of Parliament may establish committees and standing orders for the orderly conduct of its proceedings, including the proceedings of committees. So the standing order that Senator Sifuna has read has a bearing on what is happening, Mr. Speaker. The same standing orders that allow us to raise issues when we are legislating, it flows from a power that is donated to you by Article 124 of the Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, maybe it's high time some of us moved to court to challenge some of these standing orders that limit our right to make contributions on behalf of the people of Nyamira, of Homa Bay, of Nairobi, who have elected us.
Thank you, Senator. Is your point
Can you
made?
protect me from Senator Cherege? So, Mr. Speaker,
Let's hear him in silence.
when you read Article 124, and don't make in Section 2A, don't make us go back there. We are now operating under a new Constitution, 2010. Senator Cherege, my friend, there are Kenyans who died to put this Constitution in place. No, we have to lecture you because we have to remind you. We have to remind you history. We have to remind you. So, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Okay, Senator, order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order, senators.
We are in this house by virtue of powers that is bestowed on us by the Constitution that the people of Kenya passed, the Kenya Constitution of 2010.
Thank you, Senator.
Under this article, Mr. Speaker, under the article I've read it to you, you have no right to limit us.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator. Let me make a ruling so that we can have a way forward. I have to make a ruling so that you can either proceed or not. I have to make a ruling, Senator Kajwang, on this matter. And the ruling also touches on the issues you raised. So, honorable senators, I believe what has been raised by the learned senators in this house, who are very aware of the standing orders and the standing orders that they've raised and the clauses that they've raised on the matter touching on the Constitution, it is very clear that even the standing orders are applied alongside the traditions and practices of this House. When we are in a committee of the whole, interventions should be very brief, and there is no time limitation. It is just meant to be a very brief intervention. The same way when we're in the standing, can we hear in silence? Silent, Senator Cherege. When we're in the committee of the whole, it's the same way that we don't have a seconder for anything that is moved or any question that is put. This said, senators, we will proceed as we were proceeding, and if there is any clause that you want to make an intervention, we will give you an opportunity, but be very brief on the matter. Senator Kajwang, you may not stand. Senator Kajwang. Senator Kajwang, you have raised, can I finish my ruling? Can I finish my ruling? You had concluded and you had raised your matter, Senator Kajwang. You had raised a matter on clause 42B. At this point, I will give Senator Abbas an opportunity to address the issues you had raised. It's only one sentence. It's only one sentence. How can he have not been finished? Senator Kajwang, why don't you listen to the reply? Let's listen to the Senator Kajwang, you had spoken for a good 5 minutes before we interrupted you. No, Senator Kajwang, I will not sit. Let Senator Abbas reply to your issue. Let him.
Okay, order, Mr. Let me give it a rationale. Let me explain myself. Let me give it a rationale. I will explain myself. Let me explain.
Senator Abbas, address the chair.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, Clause 242B limits the individual owning only one or more houses used under the Act. This measure prevents the concentration of units in few hands and ensures equitable distribution among the intended beneficiaries. You could have 100 wives. I'm explaining myself. I'm explaining myself. You could have 100 wives. You could have 10 wives. You could have 100 children. There is no need. You can always buy only one house. We are taking care of the interest of those guys. You should take care of the interest of those guys. Okay. I'm showing the Honorable Speaker that these houses are meant for the poor people, the low-income houses, persons, and there is no way you can buy 100 houses at the same time. Therefore, this clause justifies. Yes. Okay. Order. I'm not talking about the clause. I'm explaining myself. I'm sorry.
Senators, please sit down.
42B limits. 42B limits individuals to own only one affordable house. Under the Act, this measure prevents the concentration. Order. Relax. Let me explain myself. The join. Where?
Order, senators.
I am on the floor.
Sit down.
I am on the floor. I am on the floor. I should be given time.
Sit down.
Speaker, I'm on the floor.
Sit down.
Let him read that 181.
Commissioner, sit down.
Hakuna shida.
Sit down.
Wacha asome hiyo 181. Mwambie yeye mwenyewe asome. Wacha asome.
Sit down.
Wacha asome.
Nani?
181 wacha asome.
Ngoja.
Asome 181.
Down.
About the process.
Sit down. Majority leader, sit down. Sit down.
Malizi hata
Sit down. Okay. Senator Kajwang, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Senator, order. Honorable senators, I'm not sure if Senator Kajwang was in the House when I made a ruling about justification and any interventions in the House will be limited for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. No. I did. I made that ruling in this House. Yes. I said 2 minutes. No, I gave 2 minutes. So, Senator Kajwang, as a way forward, we will listen to Abbas, and then I'll give you an opportunity, not more than 2 minutes, to say what you have to say. Senator Abbas.
Wait. Okay, honorable speakers, senators, let me explain myself. 42B is meant to safeguard, so every Kenyan must have a house, affordable houses.
Let him finish.
Order, my friend. Yeah, I'm not addressing you.
Senator Abbas, address the chair.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, I'm saying I'm just fine why we're saying limiting these houses to one person. For one individual, one house. Because you can own 100 wives, you can have 10 kids, you can have 20 kids, but what they're saying is these houses are meant for the poor people and for the low-income houses, guys. If we say that we allow everybody to buy what he wants, then everybody will not get everything what he wants. What we want is those poor people to get what they want. So these houses can be equally distributed. For that is the justification of this clause.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Chair, that was exactly my problem with this provision, that we are legislating for poverty, not for prosperity. And when I was making my submission, I was saying that after 5-10 years, everyone has a house. So what are you going to put in the law that since Cheriot already has a house somewhere in Langata, and after 10 years there are additional and excess houses, that nobody should go for the second round? That is poor legislative drafting, and those are poor proposals that should not come in this law. Mr. Chair, the Constitution, Article 117, that talks about powers and privileges of Parliament, provides unfettered freedom of speech and expression. And those people who today want to limit my speech and expression, we shall wait for you. And your day will come when someone will have to stand up for your right of expression and freedom of speech. And Mr. Chair, I do believe, because the 2 minutes are not over, that even after I've prosecuted my reservations on clause 42B, that all other members with a contrary view must also be allowed to contribute, because this is the only time when senators can write laws. Finally, Mr. Chair, when I'm here...
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kathuri Murungi.
Chair, you know, my issue is this. When we get to the third reading of any bill, the purpose for the third reading is to bring any amendment that you feel maybe was not captured well in the bill. And to bring the third reading, any amendment that you feel you should bring, so that you can convince members. And if you can only convince members, and then also we subject to the vote. So Senator Kajwang and all the opportunity during the second reading, at the third reading, to bring an amendment which could have cured this problem. So it could have amended, maybe, so that now we bring that to the vote at the third reading.
Senators, let's make progress. The people I'm giving a chance, Deputy Speaker, you're supposed to comment on clause 42B. not on the conduct of your other senators in this House. So now I will give an opportunity to Manzo.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. No, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Order, senators.
Mr.
Order.
Speaker.
We need
Mr.
to.
Speaker.
Senator Manzo will be heard in silence.
Mr. Speaker, just before I comment on this, I want to say my 10 years experience, now that you talked about traditions in the National Assembly, on a matter which generates a lot of interest like this particular one, the speakers will ordinarily allow as many as possible to comment, Mr. Speaker, so that, Mr. Speaker, then you know, out of that, members could make a clear decision whether to amend further or to remain with the same position when we vote. Mr. Speaker, I want to say my issue with this particular amendment, Mr. Speaker, kindly. B, may apply for the board for approval of issuance of an affordable mortgage to develop a rural affordable housing unit, Mr. Speaker.
Senators, can we hear him in silence?
Mr. Speaker,
please take a seat.
Mr. Speaker, this particular amendment begins to contradict the whole purpose of the housing, and it goes into to create a situation whereby some people get more privileged than others, and it creates discrimination, which, you know, you may enrich some people more than others, and there should be a way of limiting to make sure if it's affordable housing, it is a unit for everyone across board, so that if you have to do round two, then it balances. You don't begin round two when somebody else doesn't have a house yet and they are deserving. So it is discriminative, Mr. Speaker. I submit.
Thank you, senators. Senator Abbas, you have a comment?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to withdraw that amendment if be.
Honorable senators, honorable senators, honorable senators, honorable senators. Why don't you listen? Honorable senators, since Senator Abbas has withdrawn the amendments, this matter will not be put to a vote. It is that withdrawn. So I think Senator Kajwang, you have actually won the debate.
New clause 42C.
Mover to move is Senator Abbas Mohammed Sheikh.
Order. Honorable Speaker, I want to bring 42C, except with the prior written consent of the board, a purchaser of an affordable houses unit under Act shall not by contract, agreement or otherwise sell or agree to sell his or her unit or interest therein, or in any interest there in any of other persons.
Senator Sifuna, what is your intervention?
Mr. Chair, you should ordinarily allow us to make points of order. I was standing, I have been given the mic. This is disorderly conduct by the majority leader, and there's the reason I'm rising on my feet, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order 121, I have seen the majority leader essentially throw a tantrum and smack the desks with his documents there. And yet he has the audacity to accuse me of being disorderly. You have thrown a tantrum. You are doing it again.
Order, senators.
You are doing it again, Mr.
Senator
Speaker. Gloria. Mr. Speaker.
Senator Gloria.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Senator Gloria. Order.
Mr. Chair, there is only one opportunity for you to have order in this House, and that is enforcement of the rules equally. If it were anybody on the minority side who was throwing the tantrum that I have seen my brother, the majority leader, throwing, he would have been thrown out of the House. Why is he being treated specially, Mr. Speaker?
Very
Why is he
well.
being treated specially?
Very well, Senator.
I want, Mr. Speaker, a ruling on each point of order that we raise, because we must have a record of how this House treats people and how you apply the law, Mr. Speaker. Because
Very well,
ordinarily,
Senator.
and
You
you
can-
saw it, Mr. Speaker. Please don't pretend you did not see it. And I know
Have
you're
a
a
seat.
good man.
I
You have seen it,
seen
and
what?
you must bear true witness,
Seen what?
Mr. Speaker.
Him throwing a
that was,
tantrum.
yes,
No, I didn't see it.
Mr. Speaker, I saw you seeing him. Mr. Speaker, don't be like that. We are in the holy month, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are in the holy month of Ramadan. Please tell the truth.
Senator, 42C. Oh. Senators, bear with us a minute. We need to clear this screen so that we can have some order. One moment. If you have your button red, just switch it off. Switch it off. Switch it off, then I'll tell you when to switch it on. Okay, for 42C intervention, press now. How many people inside? 2 people I'll give. I propose the question, the new clause 42C be now read a second time. I put the question, before I put the question. Senator of Meru. Senators, press intervention. Intervention. Yako naona. No, but hata huko Kwanza. Hii system mbaya. No, I'm getting Yoneshi. Okay. So I will allow 2 from both sides. 2 interventions from both sides. On this side, Wambua and Mogeni. On this side, they're your seniors. Cherargei on this side, and chair committee wanted to comment. Okay, Senator Wambua.
Give me the mic. Chair. Chair, on that proposed amendment 42C, I totally and completely oppose it. The Chair, this is an amendment, yes, we will do that, but this is an amendment that goes contrary to the Constitution on property rights. You know, the law itself has been declared by the courts unconstitutional. You bring an amendment which is completely unconstitutional. Mr. Chair, this one, I strongly and totally oppose.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, on this clause 42C, what we are trying to cure is what we saw a few years before, National Housing Corporation, where the intended beneficiaries end up not being intended. So in the principle of equity and equality and morality and the law, we must be ensured that we cushion against where people are given through affordable program, then they resell those houses through the cartels that we know that are normal during the NHC, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say I support this clause 42C. We shall not be lectured, Mr. Speaker. If you don't want to be lectured, you can go to University of Nairobi during public hearing or public lecture. Mr. Speaker, I support this clause because it will promote equity and equality and fairness in terms of access. And Mr. Speaker, finally, you need to protect the people who are beneficiaries of this, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Mugeni.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Cheragay is my colleague. I know he's union in the profession, but there are some basic concepts in constitutionalism that Senator Cheragay should know. Now, remember, the law that we want to enact. The law that we want to enact is going to give Kenyans an opportunity to purchase houses. You are not going to give these houses to Kenyans for free. So the moment you are taxed and you are given an opportunity to purchase, that becomes your property. Now, Senator Cheragay, through Speaker, if you never went to law school to study constitutional law, I want to read for you Article 40 of the Constitution. Article 40 of the Constitution. Now, no. You know, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. Now, Speaker, this is what section 40.
Order.
Protect me.
Okay, order. He still has time.
Now, you know this one, Speaker, you know, this one I'm trying to help you. Sasa
Majority Leader, order.
You should throw Senator Cheragay out. Now, Mr. Speaker, this is not for anybody else but for Senator Cheragay, and I want him to listen. Let him sit attentively and listen. Now, Section 40, Speaker. Section 40, on protection of the right to property, it says, Parliament shall not enact any law.
Thank you, Senator. Senators, I propose the question. I put the question that new clause 42C be now read a second time, division at the end.
The first schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule be part of the bill. Chairperson, Standing Committee Roads. Order, Senators. Majority Leader, you are wasting the most time now. Sifuna. Yeah, but you can't be exchanging. Let's hear the chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I wish to propose amendment as they appear on the order paper, in the order paper. Justification: this amendment seeks to clarify the number of members who can convene an extraordinary meeting. Just the numbering, which is the majority of the members of the committee.
I propose the question that the first schedule be amended as proposed. Senators, before I put the question, since the schedule and what is remaining is what was in the bill, I do not see any need for debate, but if somebody wants to stand and either support, I will only give them 1 minute. I put the question. Since there's nobody, I put the question that the first schedule be amended as proposed, division at the end.
The second schedule.
I propose the question that the second schedule be part of the bill. I put the question that the second schedule be part of the bill, division at the end.
The third schedule.
I propose the question that the third schedule be part of the bill, amendment to be moved by Senator Mugeni. And there are 2 amendments for this, and the 2 amendments are not conflicting.
Mr. Speaker, I propose that Mr. Speaker, I propose that the third schedule be amended as appears on the order paper. Mr. Speaker, the justification is if you read the third schedule, the heading states list of agencies for implementing the affordable housing programs and projects. Mr. Speaker, that amendment proposes to leave the county governments as the sole agents that will undertake housing programs and housing projects. The justification, Mr. Speaker, is that under the fourth schedule, Part 2 of the Constitution, Section 8, housing and development is a function of county governments. Therefore, it will be unconstitutional to allow the agencies listed in number 2, 3, 4, which is the one that are most concerned, that is State Department for Matters Relating to Affordable Housing. That will be going outside the constitutional mandate of policy that is reserved for national government. NSSF as an independent entity that cannot take over functions of county governments. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I propose that all those bodies listed from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 be deleted. And clause 2 of the same schedule, we seek to delete the reference to institutional housing. And I want to make a correction. All references I've made in my amendments, initially I referred to the 6th schedule. It should actually be the 4th schedule of the Constitution. Thank you.
I propose the question that the third schedule be amended as proposed. I put the question that the third schedule be amended as proposed. Division at the end. Further amendment by the Chairperson Standing Committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I wish to propose the amendment as they appear in the order paper. Mr. Speaker, we believe counties are agencies that are supposed to handle this work, so we are increasing more agencies to that part. And in clause 2, this amendment seeks to remove the description of plinth area from the substantive legislation in favor of having the same defined under regulation. And also, Mr. Speaker, the amendment seeks to define the term county committee.
I propose the question that the third schedule be amended as proposed. I put the question that the third schedule be amended as proposed, division at the end.
You have already gone.
Clause 2.
Clause 2. Senator.
It's showing. But it's showing. It's showing.
Okay, senators. Senators. Yeah, lakini Senator Manzo, 1 minute.
Yes, I just wish to say that, Chair, you know, when we make a law, first it must go with the Constitution, then go with the statute. Chair, the moment you fundamentally amend the original part of the bill, although we stand for devolution and housing should be fully devolved, Chair, when you introduce, as has been introduced by the Chair, you tend to reverse what had already been passed, Chair. And therefore, it is important, Chair, that there is flaw with the Constitution, Chair. It isn't flowing, and therefore, it becomes automatically, the amendment is automatically unconstitutional, Chair. I conclude.
Senator Sifuna. I'm following the screen. You said you interviewed. Sifuna.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, please, Senator Cheruiyot, I know it is causing some irritation when we are doing the jobs we were elected to do, because I don't know why you are in a rush, Mr. Speaker. Allow us to speak to the amendments that are being proposed. Mr. Speaker, I support the amendment that has been proposed by Senator Morgan, because you can see, allow me to say what I want to say. Please, allow me to say what I want to say. It is my wrong things. Allow me to say my wrong things. You cannot be shouting all the time when we are talking. Honorable Chair, please protect me from the majority
Let
leader.
him be heard. He has 1 minute. Let him be heard.
Now let him say what he wants to say. Let me sit down and let him say what you want to say. This is not your house.
Senator Enoch Wambua. Senator Enoch Wambua.
You know, it will be very difficult, Chair, for you and for this House, if then the management of who speaks and who does not speak is being directed by Senator Cheruiyot. Mr. Speaker, the Chair, I fully support the amendment proposed by Senator Mogeni that the units of government, national government, that have been put in this housing program be deleted and we just retain the county governments. Our responsibility as the Senate, Mr. Speaker, is to protect the interests of counties and county governments and to protect devolution. It is not our work to claw back on devolution by introducing national government agencies in functions that are supposed to be devolved. That's what we are saying. Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Chair, a motorcycle is defined by 2 attributes. It has an engine and it has got 2 wheels. The minute you come up with a motorcycle bill, like Senator Boni Khalwale has come up with a motorcycle bill, then you alter the definition of the motorcycle and you remove the engine from it and leave only 2 legs, it is no longer a motorcycle. Now that is a mischief that Senator Karungo Wathangwa is introducing here. We are dealing with an affordable housing bill, and we are changing the definition of affordable housing at this point after subjecting this bill to public participation. That is unconstitutional because you cannot alter materially the substance of a bill at this point in time. Mr. Chair, I wish that Senator Karungo Wathangwa can gracefully withdraw that amendment because we cannot now be deleting the plinth and then only maintaining the income status.
Thank you, senators. I put the question that the 3rd schedule be amended as proposed, division at the end.
Clause 2.
Clause 2 has 2 amendments. The amendments are not conflicting. I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Senator Mogeni. Okay, let's start with the amendment by the chairperson standing committee. We will have to drop the amendment by Senator Mogeni. Chairperson, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. I wish to propose the amendment as they appear in the order paper, Mr. Speaker. And the amendment seeks to remove the description of plinth area from the substantive legislation in favor of having the same defined under regulation. And Mr. Speaker, the amendment also seeks to define the term county committee.
I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Is there anyone who wants to contribute to it? Senator Dan Manzo.
Yes. Yes, my contribution is that it's a very brief one. Is that there must be consistency. The whole idea is devolution. Housing is a devolved function. So the moment you introduce an element which takes it back to a national function, then it becomes unconstitutional. I submit, I oppose.
Senator Chiradike, 1 minute only.
Madam Speaker, you know, Madam Speaker, when you look at the fourth and third schedule of the Constitution in devolved function and national government functions, it is cross-cutting. So, fourth schedule, sorry, it is cross-cutting, Madam Speaker. And therefore, it is misnomer to say housing is fully devolved. Yet when it comes to policy and implemented, it is shared between both the national and county government. So, Madam Speaker, I think the committee is in order. I support.
I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
The title.
I propose the question that the title be part of the bill, and I invite the chairperson, Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing, to move this amendment.
Madam Speaker, I wish to withdraw that amendment.
So that has been withdrawn, so there is no need to proceed. Next.
Clause 1.
Now that the amendment has been withdrawn, I propose the question that the title be part of the bill. I put the question that the title be part of the bill, division at the end.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I invite the chairperson, Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing, to move this.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Having dropped the title, I wish to also withdraw this amendment.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Senator Manzo, you want to? I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill, division at the end. It's the end of these amendments. Yes.
I must exercise your discretion and allow me to move the amendment on clause 2.
Are you withdrawing?
Understanding order 1. Yeah.
Are you withdrawing it?
No. I'm moving the amendment.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah. Madam Speaker, I propose that clause 2 of the bill be amended as appearing on the order paper. The justification, Madam Speaker, is to remove the definition of the word institutional housing, to align it with my other proposed amendments in the bill. Thank you.
So you have reintroduced the amendment? You have brought back the amendment?
Yes?
You have now brought back the amendment?
Yes, I have now brought back the amendment.
Okay.
That is clause 2 of the third schedule.
Okay. I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed, division at the end. I now ask the mover to report progress.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order number 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report the progress on its consideration of the National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2023. Sorry, wait. I take it again. Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order number 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the Affordable Housing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again today.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the Affordable Housing Bill, National Assembly Bills number 75 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again today. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker.